Do you know Affinity also provides a bit unexpected but very helpful and handy tool, which is the QR tool in their toolbar. So to access the QR tool, first of all, navigate to the toolbar and select the shape tool. And as soon as we select the shape tool, you can see that there are collections of shape. And now select the QR tool that is present at the bottom of all those tools. And after selecting the QR tool, now we can simply click and drag like we use or create other shape tools inside the Affinity. While clicking and dragging, we can also use different modifier keys like Shift, Command and Control to reposition or to fix the center point or to adjust the proportion of the size of the QR. So by default, when I simply click and drag, Affinity automatically adjusts the proportion or the proportional size of the QR. However, if we want to have a proportion size and to distort the QR size, all we can do is hold down the Shift key, and as soon as we drag to any point in our artboard, you can see that it is now distorting our QR shape, our QR code shape. And if I leave out the Shift key in the keyboard, now it again goes back to adjust and maintain the proportion of the size of QR code. Next thing, we can also hold down the Command key, and while holding down the Command key, you can see that the crosshair icon is at the center of the QR code. And what Command key does is it simply makes the initial point where we click and drag as the center of the QR code, as you can see here, like so. And if we need to distort it further, we can again hold down the Shift key at the same time while holding the Command key. And now we can distort our QR code again, like so. And if we leave our Shift key, now you can see that it has come back to its proportional shape again. Similarly, we can also hold down the Control key, and while holding the Control key, you can see that we can rotate our QR code from the center. That's because we are also simultaneously holding down the Command key if you are using Mac and Control key if you are using Windows. So this is how you can rotate the QR code. And if I leave the Control key, now our QR code has gone back to its default form or default size. Now I'll also leave out the Command key, and I'll drag it all the way to the bottom right, like so. And on top of that, if we simply hold down the Control key again, now we can rotate it from the initial point where we have clicked and dragged to create the new QR code, like so. And I'll leave out the Control key again, and to commit, I'll simply leave my mouse button click. And now this is our new QR code in Affinity. So we can do other things in QR code as well. And now the best part about the QR code in Affinity is it is not only the design, but it is also really handy and useful in terms of utility. So if we navigate at the contextual taskbar above, you can see that there is an attribute or a property called data, and there is a URL inside that property. And if we simply click on it, we can set this QR code to any type of communication medium. So by default, it is selected to URL. We can select other types like text, phone, SMS, email, WhatsApp, and many more, even Wi-Fi password. So this is a really helpful and handy tool inside Affinity. And let's say if I select text, and then right now I've already given a text called Affinity tilde. Let's say if I delete the text and I simply type Affinity, then now you can see that it has adjusted our QR code further to work with the text Affinity which we have recently typed. And we can also change the type to URL, and instead of Affinity's official website, we can maybe give any other website. For example, we can even give the URL of youtube.com. So I'll simply select it all and then type youtube.com, and now you can see that it has changed the QR code in real time. So I'll hit OK, and now this is the QR code for YouTube. Now if you scan this QR code through your camera, then you can simply navigate, and access YouTube directly. So this QR code tool that Affinity has offered is not just about design, but it is also about utility. It is really helpful to communicate or to share a medium or means through which we can communicate with other platforms or services. So if you find this video helpful, please click on the like button. For more tips and tricks related to Affinity, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next video.